Well, the fluorescent lights in the TARDIS just pooped out. Now I'm down to incandescent. Well, hello Glue Troopers, and welcome into my home for the not fireside chat because it's 91 degrees down here in Florida. I just had a shower, we have air conditioner going, and I'm still sweating. Glorious. Well, I got a box today from the Dillons up in Fairview, Alberta, Canada. And I tell you what, Canadians are the most generous people. I have not had a chance to look at it. I did open the box. Let's see what's in it. But before I get started, let's move my Doolittle B25 right there a little bit so I don't damage that. The table has a couple of cars, the Embraer 190 and my B25 build B25 right there. I've got the microphone clipped a little bit to my left instead of on my collar, so it may not be quite as loud. I'll try to sound off, but that's because with all this moving around, I was afraid you would pick up all that rustling noise. So I want to thank Carol and Ed. So let's see what we have here. And like I said before I get started, first off, to Mr. Azzarelli, I believe it was, that sent me the extra tires for Patton's Power Wagon. They do work. They're hollow inside, whereas the original tires to the truck were solid. So they have a different fit, but I can work with that. It looks pretty cool. So thank you for that. They will work. And also, speaking of Canadians, I got an email from Garfield that Orange Tabby, that Mrs. Orange Tabby picked something out that he's sending to me. So I will look and see what that is when we'll unbox that when it gets here. So, but from the Dillons, let's see. Okay, we have a box of models. Good start. We have the AMT 1967 Shelby Cobra. It's the GT3. I'm sorry. I know. Don't light up the keyboards. It's the Shelby Mustang, the GT350 Shelby, not a Cobra. Sorry. When the word Shelby comes out, Cobra almost follows it without even giving it a second thought. And this is the AMT kit, and it is molded in green. So you can't go wrong with a Carroll Shelby car. I tell you what, the reason the guy's name is pretty much synonymous with high performance cars. We have, I had said I had never built a Connie and I wanted one in old monogram Constellation. And this looks like it might be an original boxing, complete with the side panel and the tape. If it is a repop, it had been in one of the early ones, but gosh, it's one of those things you almost hate to build because it's just such a classic. Yep, two color molding. There's the white parts and the gray parts, and of course your cloth monogram patch. These decals look pretty cherry, so I'm going to say this is maybe probably a later reproduction, but either way, that's great. It's beautiful, and that's going to look beautiful. At some point, I'm going to have to get more shelves because I want to have a dedicated airliner shelf, although I don't see that happening anytime soon. We have 148 scale Kugelwagen. This is Tamiya, and type 82. PKW K1, which normally PKW I think meant Panzer Kampfwagen, but this is hardly a Panzer. It probably means something else, but it's a K1 Kugelwagen type 82. My brother had probably this very one or one like it when I was a kid. No, his was a 135th scale. I just thought it was the coolest little vehicle. Actually gives me, I have a couple of 148 scale vehicles and they're rare. And, oh wow. You know what this is going to be perfect for? I'm going to do that when we get around to the kit bash. I'm going to do that Dornier 335 feel that Tom Daniel sent me, and I'm going to I'm going to kit bash it, and I'm planning sort of an end of the war scene, and I was going to use the old 148 scale Russian truck, and this would go perfect with that. So that's That's exactly where I need to put that when I get back in the TARDIS. That's good. Thank you. Okay, and we have some books and magazines. We have... You guys know I'm a fan of the Red Green show. It's Red Green. It's the Red Green book. Wit and Wisdom of Possum Lodge, plus 100 pages of filler. Okay, this goes with... It's funny, I was just thinking about Red Green and Letterkenny the other day, actually earlier today. And I know everything, I keep looping back to things like the Arrow, but I did watch that Dark Docs video that just came out timely on the CF100 Canuck. And we'll get into this later, but I was wondering, you know, how could Canada make these advanced projects like this so cutting edge, yet at some point you wind up with you-know-who becoming the PM and canning it. And then I started to realize that, you know, as with many countries, you know, there's kind of two Canadas. There's sophisticated, you know, engineering, advanced projects Canada, and then there's the Red, Green, and Letterkenny Canada. And I'm thinking, you know, it's just like here in the U.S., you know, you have your great thinkers and college types, and then you've got your rural folk who they don't think much of each other. Imagine that probably as a dichotomy goes everywhere. I know it's been written about many times in books about World War II with the Imperial Japanese, that especially between the Navy and the Army, the Navy considered itself educated and elite and looked down on the Army, who, as they saw a bunch of bumpkins from the hills, and the Army saw the Navy as a bunch of snobs. So I imagine that kind of played a role in the things we were talking about the past couple of days, and we can talk about that more later. We have another book, Saving the Canso. For those who don't know, Canso is a Canadian-built PBY. This chronicles a small group of volunteers who salvaged and restored a World War II patrol bomber. And I love it because it has lots of pictures. And let's see. Ooh, I just scared Honey off. She was just getting a little curious. Okay. And we have a fine skill modeler, a fantastic scratch-built Spitfire. And there's a tab here. Roscoe Turner. You guys know there it is, the Weedle Williams Roscoe Turner. Stephen Tycho's award-winning Gilmore Red Lion. Okay, that'd be interesting to see how he detailed that, because, wow, that is beautiful, right down to the pinstriping. Dissatisfied with the incomplete cowl striping. Okay, one of the reasons I put my Weedle Williams in Jimmy Weedle's colors instead of what I wanted to do, which was the Roscoe Turner colors, were that I thought some of the decals are missing, and it turns out no, they actually don't give you a complete. It's odd that they don't give you a complete set of cowling decals. So it says here, dissatisfied with incomplete cowl striping, Stephen scanned the artwork from the instruction sheet into Adobe Photoshop, completed the design, and printed them on micromark decal paper with a laser color printer. And I have a laser color. An inkjet rendering thin black lines, parentheses, an inkjet rendered thin black lines as dots. Oh yeah, that's why he couldn't use an inkjet. I tried about sealing them and found if I trimmed too close to the image, some of the black edges chipped off the paper. He says experimenting is the key to, oh wow. So doing this cowling is every bit the nightmare I thought it would be. But at some point I'm going to probably try it. You know, I almost went with the gold one, the big 1,000-horse engine that's in the Crawford Museum that I did a video on, because it was just so much easier to paint the whole airplane gold. But this really is the paint scheme that I think is the most beautiful. And if I could pull that off, it'd be one heck of a beautiful airplane. You know, I sometimes wonder if when people mark their aircraft, if they ever stop to give any consideration to us modelers and how difficult it's going to make life for us. But then that's a challenge. Well, that is great. I want to, but thanks, Ed. I appreciate that. And so here's the deal. I am taking the book Revolution with me on the next trip. I didn't get a chance to read it this one. That's on Gary Newman. I know, why is a Kit Model channel? Why are you reading a book on a pop star? Well, he was a big aviator also, and he almost made a career in aviation. So, and I might take one of the other Aero books with me. I'm going off on a 5-day trip, so I only have tomorrow at home. That's why there's not going to be a live stream this week. And I also am going to take that little Nito kit of the Fuji T1 jet, which was Japan's first jet trainer they designed after the war. Actually, I think it was the first jet they designed after the war, and their first swept-wing jet. And they used that thing for about 30 years, even though they made a little over 60 of them. But there's two color patterns. The one in the box, hello, now she wants to make some noise. But the simpler one is the metallic one, which is kind of their standard color, but later they went to that bright red and orange paint scheme, and that would be a little more challenging. But I'm just going to build the kit on the road. I won't be painting it on the road. So I don't know if I'll make it gear down or gear up. I have to look at the kit, but maybe I'll get a chance to build it this time. Wow, she wants some attention. The mistress calls. I must go. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll keep you posted. I know not a lot of content's coming out. That's why I try to make the road videos when I have time, but I have to finish my reading before I put together a road video or my build, and we'll just see how the schedule and the time goes. Well, thanks for tuning in and sharing some of your time with me. Hope you guys are having a great day. Again, thanks to Mr. Azzarelli, and thanks to the Dillons. I appreciate this very, very much, and I look forward to building all these. Guys, take care of yourselves, and as always, model on. They all came out of here. They have to fit back in. Hello, Glue Troopers. I'm home for one whole day. I literally just got home half hour ago or so. I got myself a shower and washed away the airline business. And there was a box waiting on me from the Dillons up in, let's see, it's Fairview, I think that's Alberta. It's Fairview, ABTOHILO, Fairview, Alberta.